So we're back with Jessica in Starbucks, the new Starbucks on Wall Street, with our coffee. So this question Jessica asked for me, you might have to get a little closer to get this mic. How are you with being who you are? She created this question.
Yeah. So, when I was
have
a
a sip
kid,
of cocaine.
right? Take that serious. When I was a kid, I was good at it. I was really good at it. I was good at being who I was and who I am. God says I am that I am, and that's the same for us. So, I was cool with it. I was cool with myself. I expressed myself the way that I want to express myself. Real interesting. Some might say eccentric. I shared my thoughts, my feelings, my expressions. I was real smooth, real cool as a kid. It wasn't until maybe I got a little older.
I hear a butt coming on.
Got a little weird. I express myself with poetry and things. I never got intimidated. I just got a little weird. I kind of got shied off from really sharing what I really felt about things because I didn't want to seem not supportive of other people and what they feel about things, or whether they were societal concepts or spiritual afflictions or spiritual insights. I have a lot of spiritual insight, and it's not my insight. I believe that it's spiritual insight, therefore it comes from a greater, higher being that was just so gracious to share their ideals with me and through me and allow me to be a vessel, to share the mind of the Most High. Everyone has the opportunity and ability to do that if they just seek and open up, right? So sometimes there are things that I receive from the highest energy I call God, and I always shared those things, just exuded those things as a child easily. But it wasn't until, I got a little older that I felt stifled. Like, okay, don't be yourself, don't really be who you are, don't really speak your mind, don't come off too hard, don't come off too rough. You gotta be ladylike, or you gotta be standard. And now, in my mid-20s, tomorrow, Lord willing, it's my birthday. I'll be 27, and I'm like, okay, I get to be me. I'm 27. I'm no longer trying to. So I started bugging. With not trying to change who I was, but confine who I was. Maybe around 23 years old, because people would say, "Oh, Jessica, you think you're too smart," or you think you know everything, and it wasn't even my thoughts. I would always express, these are not my thoughts. I wasn't even wise enough to come up with some of the things that I come up with. And some of these things, they leave me because they come through me. But there's a gift in that. Like, God has a purpose in that insight, in that wisdom. And He's going to use it according to His will, not according to my will. So then I said, you know what? I'm going to be the best at who I am. I'm going to be the great I am, all that I am. And in terms of speaking earlier about hats, wearing different hats, I neglected to say specifically what those different hats are. I love to work with the community, but in an educational way. An educational way that is geared towards culturing a people. That includes children to old people, to the elderly. And so anyway, and in doing that, I teach, and I have a really awesome band called the Oxygen Box Band that I manage, and I learn things through the Oxygen Box Band. Everybody has a story, and it's a band with 3 main members who are very interesting people themselves, let alone their music, who have vastly different stories. I mean, very interesting stories that drive them to share their God-given talents with the world. And God had it so that I met up with them and I work with them, and I'm learning things about just supporting other people's expressions, but also, doing and obeying what God has for me. God puts me in the hands and in certain places to do His work and will with like minds. I may not even have known that they were like minds until, you do work with them. But, and they're artists as well. So, that idea of being an artist, it's very hard to be an artist and it be lucrative without having business tools. And then that leads me to my next, conversation about having different hats. I'm a well-educated young lady. I went to college, for 10 years, and I want to be a doctor. However, I love where I work, but I work where I work because, you know, they don't want me. Corporations that I went to school for, the knowledge I paid to have. It's not my knowledge that I went to school for. It's the Western world knowledge that I went to school for. And I invested money and time into that knowledge yet.
Matrix.
Yet, I can't get a job because I'm not what they want. And if they do want to hire me, this can't happen. This ain't gonna happen because this ain't the look they looking for. And if they do get this look, they want this voice. Like, oh my God, how you doing?
Put it in
How are
front of
you?
your eyes. This
Yeah,
is the good
you know.
part, yeah.
They don't want this look. This is me though. They want the whitewash me.
You're supposed to go close up and be like, this is me though.
You know. And I'm workable, you know, because this is me. This is me. You know? And if all this, the outside is you, then maybe we don't have a place together anyway, because I work from the inside out to begin with. However, that's all good and all, but in life you need I went to school to work, to have my own business, and to be able to make to be lucrative in another business. You know, y'all know how it goes. When you get your master's, you still have to get those hours. You have to work for another company. I'm gonna say to myself, well, of course I don't go in looking all roster out. You know, my hair might be tight.
Roster out.
You know, my nails might be done. You know, I present myself a certain way. However, when I start to speak, I'm gonna articulate myself, and I'm gonna do it well enough. You know, for where I'm giving a little bit of what they want, and mostly myself. And I said to say that most corporations, if they do want an intelligent black woman, they don't want her to be so what she's going to be, what she's built to be, you know, so strong and mighty. It's not even about me. I'm a black woman, so I'm speaking from the perspective of a black woman. But, you know, all women have their plight in corporations. But as a black woman, you don't fit in because you don't have that, you know, if you are a black woman, you have to be a certain type of black woman. And no offense, it has to be like a kind of whitewashed black woman. I'm not talking about to go overboard with, you know, this ratchet stereotypes. But you can't just merely be an educated black woman. No, that's not good enough. You gotta really change your outer appearance to fit their customer retail. And what I've learned is that we're not what most corporations want. So they're not gonna give us the job. So we're gonna have to find, well, they will, but you have to just completely change in order for that to happen. Which may work for some people. Get in where you fit in, change the game if you want to. But for other people like me who work from the heart,
or be an artist.
I want to be free in who
Or be an
I am.
artist.
I want to express myself, and I want to love another person for doing the same thing. Whether they express themselves with dollar bills and corporate money, or whether they express themselves with meekness and artistry, it doesn't matter. I want to accept them, and I want to be accepted as well. And I want to be able to, you know, switch up the hats. And I could be able to wear a hat in corporation, and y'all know I look good in that hat too. Just like I look good in my natural hat, just like I look good in my poet hat, my friend hat, my divine hat, my healer hat, my superhero hat, and I look good, and you know, I'm sitting in the corporate office hat. You know, I want to be seen for that.
So it sounds like you are good being who you are today.
Yeah, because the idea of healing people is to show them that, you know, they were created out of the best stuff on earth, like snap. Which means you can do all things through the best things that you were created with. Like, we are beautiful creatures. I love us because God loved us when God created us. The creative, the universe, the creative energy, the spiritual energy, however people want to say it, the zen, the yin, the yang, the balance, you're made of that balance. Everything in the universe is in the human being. The human being is the mind, the spirit, and the body. You're made up of all these things. You can do all things through Christ, meaning the creative mind of God. You can do all things because you created in all those things.
Consciousness.
See, I work for God first. I work for God, which is why I'm going to be a superhero because I was made to be. I fit His qualifications for the job description for working with God. For what God has, for God's will for me is what I'm saying. I fit the qualifications for God's will for me. So I'm always employed by God to do God's work. So immediately I work for God. What God will so have me do in the world is work with others. I'm willing to work with others, and I'm willing to work for myself. It's just finding the middle ground. And what I would say to all people who are artists and go to school, make sure you take up some business courses. Make sure you take some courses on finance and marketing, business. If you're going to school for psychology, if you're going to school for fine art, it doesn't matter. If you're going to school for science, it doesn't matter. Make sure you take up business courses, because eventually you're going to want to own your own, and your talent's going to get you the meat and the potatoes, the meat of the body, but you got to make the outline. You got to build, and to build, you need business skills, because that's how you make money.
Yeah, money, baby. Money, VI money, digital currency. Thank you, Jessica. This is part 3. We might be back. Peace.